Good morning. My name is Lorrie. Welcome to my show. We are quilters here on YouTube. If you are new, thank you for stopping by. If you have been around for a while, I have been promising to show you the blocks for the study in Scarlet. So today, I'm going to do something brand new that I have not done with you before. I mean, in this book, this is like the Study in Scarlet book. I've got my calendar written out by hand. You don't need to see that. I've got the table of contents, what blocks we will be doing when. And then I have, excuse me while I leaf through and you have to listen to me flip pages. Then I have each pattern drawn out and the pieces written for cutting in this rough state in my binder. This is how I start. Well, this is actually the middle that I'm showing you here. But I've had EQ7 for a long time, or EQ8, I'm sorry. EQ8 for a long time. I did used to use EQ7 quite a bit. And then when EQ8 came out, there were lots of changes. So I never really learned how to efficiently use EQ8. I made quilts, but they were all straight set quilts. So this has been a learning process. A lot of the blocks for this I had to draft because they were not part of the EQ8 standard library. And I wasn't purchasing anything extra. My whole point is to use things up. So I learned how to draft blocks from pictures, and the colors, I just use the stand. I know I can scan in the fabric, but I'm not doing that. My time is more valuable and I'd rather spend it sewing. So as we sew, you will see that some weeks the fabrics look quite a bit different because I fussy cut the center and it has big flowers, or it looks very different than the picture here. Not color-wise, but the picture that I'm going to pop up from EQ8. If it has pink, I tried to keep pink in that spot. So I used the original draft, the big taped together quilt. And then as I worked, I wrote out where each block came from and what chapter it was related to so that I could see. And then I put it into EQ8. So I started out with graph paper and colored pencils because I love to draw and plan things out that way. And that worked out to my benefit. That is probably how I will always work. That way I know that it works on paper before I start fiddling with the computer and lose my mind. This morning, as I was trying to make the coloring page, and it's been since the end of October since I did the front of my book, when we were still at the cabin, and EQ8 doesn't always play nicely with Office, and I was telling my husband all the steps, and he peeked in my room to see what I was working on today, and I must have been frowning in a big way. Because he was like, "Are you okay?" Yes, I'm fine. I just couldn't remember because I have a headache. The storm system that's coming. I have a headache. And so I need to go slather my head up with peppermint. That's my strategy these days. I must have been frowning in a big way. But I figured it out. So I will, as I pop up each picture of each block, they are in the order that they appear in the pattern and that they are related to the chapters. But there are 22 blocks and there's only 14 weeks. So some will go, there'll be multiple blocks in a month instead of just one. But we are starting out slow. Because I know it's the silly season and I really thought out when we should start because I know that Christmas is a time for families and sneaking away for one little block will probably do us all good. So let me run through very quickly. Oh, and before before I start running through them. They are a variety of sizes. Some are 6-inch blocks, some are 8-inch, some of them are 16, some of them are 20. They are a variety of sizes, and I'm not going to talk about sizes today. I'm just going to show you some eye candy to hook you in. So you'll want to play along, and you'll have a great time. Remember, I don't want anybody to be panicked or pressured, and I will even show you lots of pictures, and I'll make my files available so that you can download them. And just like the patriotic quilt, at the very end I will put them in a big document so that you can, if you wait till the very end, you can print the whole thing off. But I hope you play along, because we will work on this on Wednesdays. It will be lots of fun. So let's take a look at those blocks. Here is EQ7 on my computer screen with the whole colored quilt. Here it is up a little closer. You've seen this picture before. Part 1, Chapter 1. This block is called Friendship. Part 1, Chapter 2. We have 2 blocks, the Friendship Star and the plain old Friendship block. Part 1, Chapter 3. Garden Path. Part 1, Chapter 4. Drunkard's Path, to push our skills a little bit. Part 1, Chapter 5. Diamond Ring. Part 1, Chapter 6. Lily of the Field and some contrary wife blocks. Part 1, Chapter 7, Pill Block, and a Cathedral Window Block. Here we go with the second half of the book, Part 2. Chapter 1, Tumbleweed and God's Eye. Chapter 2 of Part 2, Log Cabin. This has multiple blocks. And Farmer's Daughter. Chapter 3 has 4 blocks, all with a wedding lovey theme. Cupid's Arrow, Wishing Star, Wedding March, and Wedding Bouquet. Chapter 4, King of the Mountain and Woodland Path. Chapter 5, Trails. Notice that the red portions of this block change position. There are multiples of this block. Chapter 6, Broken Heart Block. This one I modified to fit our quilt. Chapter 7, Golden Memories. Here is a quick little review of some of the parts. Here are the blocks, all of them in one spot. Here are the fabrics that I used from EQ8, but not necessarily the real thing. Here is the layout where the red strips go to make this a study in Scarlet. And last is the placement for block number 1. I hope you enjoyed the little sneak peek of the study in Scarlet. Please keep in mind that the coloring sheet and other files are down below that are printable. I hope you plan on joining in. I hope you like the look of the blocks. They will be much more fabulous done up in actual fabrics. Next week, we start making our first block. While you are waiting, get out those colored pencils, print off some of those coloring sheets, and mark your quilt up the way you want it to be. See you on Friday for Blabfest when we talk about that. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and help my channel grow.